Well, you tell yourself when you can't stop replaying your mistakes. Wow, that's a power statement right there alone. But you want to do something differently and be free and happy, like, well, the people you think they're free and happy. But the science that we're talking about is neuroplasticity, and it's proved that our brains have a negative bias, and it's wired to flag and rehearse errors as part of its survival mechanism. But every time you replay that moment, you're just rehearsing it. You're refining and rewiring the neural patterns, making it more dominant, more accessible, and more automatic. But neuroplasticity tells us something powerful, that your brain can be redirected. And that's what we need to get in this message. Either the brain can redirect, it can interrupt that loop and build new circuitry, not by pretending it didn't happen, but by changing what you tell yourself about what happened. So, the number one here is this: I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. Isn't that true about us, folks? And that is not an excuse, it's just the truth. Your brain will treat a mistake as evidence of who you are. But every decision that you've ever made was made with information, the emotional state that you were in, and the version of yourself that existed at that moment that you made the mistake, whether it was good or not so good. But you're not the exact person in those circumstances anymore. Number two, this doesn't have to mean that you're what my brain is making it to mean. Your brain assigns meaning automatically. It almost always goes negative first. Let me say that again. It's almost always goes negative first. But the story that you're telling yourself about what happened isn't fact. It's an interpretation. And you can choose a different outcome. Number three, I don't need to resolve this to move forward. I don't need to resolve this to move forward. Your brain will convince you that if you just think about it enough, you'll find the answer, and then finally you'll make a decision, and that's good. But you won't. Closure isn't always found, but it can be chosen. It can be chosen. You can decide that this no longer gets to run your life in your background. And the best version, it, well, it seems to be the most free and confident people work off this idea. If they make up and make a mistake, well, they can change course. They can move on. They can make a different decision. But you're not like this the end of the life that you have. It's just, well, it's a process. And when you change what you tell yourself about your mistakes, you're not letting yourself off the hook. You're not letting yourself off the hook. You're unhooking your brain from the loop that was never going to set you free anyway. The same mind that replays the past can be retrained to build the future. And that's not wishful thinking, folks. It's neuroplasticity. Your brain can always adapt and change as you reinvent yourself to be the true you that you have always been, really, in essence, from the time you were born, because inside of us, we have already have all things that we need, because we're first a spirit being. Later, we come out of our mother's womb with flesh on. So really, we're just spirit beings with flesh on, and we're capable of being, well, true to that. Understand who we are and who we've always been. But that has not been taught in the religious church system. But I've been teaching that for years. If you need more information on that, then, well, email me and let's have a discussion over Zoom or WhatsApp, how you can understand who you are, who you've always been, and you'll always be that because it was designed by the Father. That's right, before time began. So let me discuss that with you over Zoom or the WhatsApp. Well, email me a shout out at Dr. Cecil at teachtruth.net. Dr. Cecil at teachtruth.net, and I'll get with you and let's discuss it. And maybe, just maybe, I can share an insight or two that I've learned over these many years. So as I say there, as I end everything I say and do, I just say, well, be blessed, friends, today. Why? Because you already are, according to Ephesians 1:3.